First of all, I'm working on a long movie to finish off What If Naruto Was Hancock. The timing will be larger than usual, so that is why it's taking me so long, but don't worry, it will be out very soon. The latest will be Wednesday. So welcome back to Anime King, and I'm back with part 4 of What If Naruto Was Toji Fushiguro with The Inner 8 Gates. Remember to get this one too. 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, yes, I indeed have 3 more channels which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. All the links will be down in the description, so go ahead and obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode. Let's begin now guys. So the last part that we left off, it was a month after the Land of Wave mission, as Naruto made his way towards the Higurashi weapon shop where he came across a few weapons that entice him. A special dagger with a hook at the end, thus he bought a very powerful chain. The owner there saw him checking out a very special staff. Most people are unable to use it because of the weight distribution, but Naruto liked it. Not to mention the staff could extend and elongate. It was perfect. Tenten, daughter of Mr. Higurashi, saw Naruto. She questioned him. After all, there wasn't much people their age that was interested in weapons. She was curious by the boy. As Naruto picked out the weapons and got to work learning every single detail about them, Sakura and Sasuke tried to keep up. Maybe it was the childhood adrenaline to keep up with their peers. Sasuke was realizing quickly that he wasn't strong enough to keep up with Naruto routine, but he did push himself constantly. Even Sakura started to get interested after she was seen on numerous occasions how much Sasuke was a part of this. She did not even realize about the benefits that was quickly happening to her. She was getting stronger, faster in every single way. Team 7 went on several other missions. Over the time, Naruto had simply grown exponentially more. As the time passed, he grew stronger, faster, in every single way, his reflex becoming top notch. And finally the Chunin exam came around, where they met the team that hailed from the sand. Making their way that day, they came across Team Guy. Naruto has never met them before. Tenten was also there. Now seeing exactly why Guy spoke about him so highly, Neji said nothing, but Lee was happy to meet Naruto. A part of him wanted to fight Naruto badly. After all, Guy was his mentor, his teacher. As much as how unyouthful it seems, he wanted to see himself as the #1 student. Due to his connection with Guy, the both of them lacking necessary chakra boosts to help them. Thus he wanted that. But Naruto did not seem to be someone that interact with people that much. But that was not exactly truthful. It was just how serious he seems, but in reality he wasn't that serious most times. When they venture onto the first test, using only physical attributes, Naruto was able to excel. As they made their way towards the forest, where they came across a bigger threat. It was Orochimaru. Sakura learned how fast she's gotten when she dodges snakes, and how strong she's gotten as well. It surprised her. The training with Naruto had really paid off. However, the Chunin was interested in Naruto so much that he bit Sasuke early, taking him out of the battle. As Naruto told Sakura to run immediately, she had no choice but to run away. As she made her way off, she shouted at him to be careful. Naruto stood face to face with the Chunin. That is where Orochimaru was enticed. As Naruto truly let loose, the Chunin saw it, the madness, the battle loss. Something Kakashi was also worried about. The more Naruto went on, the more the lust for the battle seemed to connect to him in different ways. And Naruto was letting loose, not caring about safety, no one there to protect. He let loose on the Chunin, showing his true skills for once. Orochimaru was taken back, as he had to put in some effort to not be slaughtered by Naruto. Then again, his recovery time wasn't anything normal. However, the Chunin decided to bite Naruto, seeing something there, branding Naruto with a curse mark, but something strange happened as the mark seemed to twist in a strange way. However, leaving him here to die was not going to happen, so he picked Naruto up and dropped him where the other Kunoichi went, along with the unconscious Sasuke. So yeah guys, basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So to begin this new episode, it was Zaku. He hailed from the Sound Village. He was smiling as he raised his arm towards the massive tree trunk, only for a fist to collide in his face, launching him away. He slammed through the foliage. The one that did it was none other than Sakura. Her eyes widened as she flipped away, dodging the senbons. She reached up, chakra circulating within her palm as she grabbed the tree, flipping over the kunais that were thrown. She jumped and landed on the right side. The three sound ninjas surrounded her as she gazed down towards Zaku, who picked himself up in pain. I said, "You won't touch any of them." She realized in the fight with Orochimaru just how much Naruto training had benefited her. However, she still didn't have what it takes to keep up with all three of them, Zaku, Dosu, and Kin. But she was able to fend them off, stopping them from hurting Naruto or Sasuke, both of her teammates that were unconscious. The three of them, though, decided that they were done as they came at her at once. Leaf Whirlwind! They were knocked away, leaping and jumping to the other side. As Ali landed beside her, Sakura was shocked, but he was not the only one. The ruckus caused a lot of people to investigate. As Team 10 arrived, "What's going on?" Choji questioned. Ino gazed as she saw Sakura bruised, but still on her feet, looking like she's been through one hell of a fight. And the green guy next to her, Ino did not know that one, but he seemed to be helping Sakura. Shikamaru stopped them from getting involved, deciding to watch first and see how things play out. "Where is Sasuke?" Ino said. "And Naruto," she said, looking around. Remember having met that one in the first phase of this whole thing. She didn't know him that well because he wasn't someone that she ever talked to, but he seemed nice. But neither of them are here right now. Her eyes went wide. "He's not dead." "Neither of them are," Shikamaru said, realizing that Sakura was protecting the tree trunk. He figured that the both of them were in there, injured possibly. He did not know that much about Naruto, but who was it was able to injure Sasuke? That person is gonna be a real big deal, a real drag for him and his team. if they were able to pass on to the next round. Meanwhile, as both of them lie still, Sasuke is seeming to calm down. Naruto, on the other hand, something was wrong. The mark on his neck was pulsating violently, trembling as his body stiffened. Meanwhile, Orochimaru opened his eyes. The Sannin was confused as he woke up in a dark space. Looking above, he saw that it was nighttime. The moon hanging lower than usual. The sky was filled with stars and bright. The air was so still. It was just so calm. The Sannin followed the path that was in front of him, having no recollection of coming here. Why was he here? Orochimaru questioned as he saw a leaf blowing. Where was his current coming from, he thought to himself. That is when he felt it. Looking up, he saw someone sitting on the roof. Beautiful night, isn't it? The Sannin stiffened, feeling a strange sensation just looking at this person. The person jumped down as they stood there, wearing a tight black t-shirt. The sleeves were short. The pants were similar, the cream color to what Naruto wear, along with his sandals. But this person was older, but he did have the striking eyes and the blonde hair as well. But he seemed to be in his mid-20s, muscular and powerful. Follow me, he said. He started to walk. The Sannin was cautious, and he didn't know why. Who are you? He questioned. Where am I? I suppose you're not supposed to be awake until you die. Well, not you, precise, but the holder of your soul. The moment those words were said, it kicked in. The recollection hit him. Orochimaru didn't understand. He wasn't the real, well, he was. This was a fragment. You see, in every curse mark, Orochimaru placed a fragment of himself, in case he died. Just a precaution to return through the body of any of the person that hold his marks. The problem was, if the original was still drawing breath, these fragments remained dormant, but their essence spread conflict. It spread rage, confusion within the mark, allowing the person to be more susceptible to the original. And this fragment wasn't supposed to gain sentience unless the original stopped breathing and the soul inside ignite with the mark chakra to make him reborn. So now there was two Orochimaru. Well, he doubted that this was the real world. Where am I? Who are you? You look like that brat I just fought, but there was no way that he could age this much. How much time has passed? Oh, I'm not him. Well, not exactly. As the individual kept on walking, do you know that throughout the history of the Uzumaki clan, there has been several special users. Users that give up something for another. Some are born without sight, but gain the hearing to understand the world much better than even viewing it is. Some are born without taste, but can feel the rhythm around them. They can understand it, sensing enemies before they even approach. Some are born without physical attributes, but they gain the mental capacity. This was a long time ago. I believe I know this because this blood running through me is connected to it all. But I doubt Naruto will know this. So you are truly not him, Orochimaru questioned. I am not. I am simply his will, the embodiment of what he is, of what his blood represents. Then where the hell are we? Orochimaru said. That mark you placed on him, it's not gonna work. Orochimaru scoffed. Preposterous, he said. My seal can overcome anyone. Now that is where you're wrong. You see, Naruto was born without the ability to use chakra. His body is restricted, heavenly so. And with that, he's granted the potential to become something truly unstoppable. However, due to the nine tails that is inside of him, his body is not functioning as it should. The constant drip of the nine-tailed chakra, it keep on messing with his system, affecting his restriction. However, this mark that you placed on him, it momentarily suppress all of the nine-tailed connection. It's been hours, and not a single drop has fallen into his system, finally allowing him to ascend. Ascend? You haven't seen it. Look, what are you talking about? Orochimaru said. Open your eyes and just look. The Chunin turned, and that is when you witness it. A veil. But behind the veil was a peculiar energy that he didn't understand. He noticed that the veil was breaking. He also saw his seal, the curse mark, the center of it all. However, that was not what concerned him. What was beside it? His body stiffened in fear. What the hell is that? Oh, that's a little bit of a problem. Over time, due to the restriction being held back by the nine tails power, the fuel of his strength, it eat away at something else, granting this lust, this hunger, this thirst. And over time it has built up again and again and again. What Orochimaru saw was a wall, cracking, but behind it was the sheer raw intent of battle lust. It was so overwhelming that the fragment could not understand it. All of that is him. And it's all about to break down, thanks to you. With time, he will learn how to control himself. However, this will also be helpful. This thirst for battle, this hunger, will make him a nightmare to his enemies. The Chunin start to back away. I'm afraid you still serve a purpose here. He turned. The moment he did, he was kicked in the face as he slammed against the wall. He tried to pry himself off, but he was stuck. The walls shaking and breaking. He saw as the silhouette stepped towards him. The man stepped up towards the lust of the battle and pressed his hand on it. He smiled. Let us begin, shall we? Along with the real Orochimaru, still within the forest area after coming across Uncle Midarashi, he was just about to leave until suddenly he fell to his knees. Orochimaru felt a pain that wasn't physical. It felt more mental, like his very soul was being torn apart. But he did not bleed, he did not spit blood. He just writhed in agony, mental anguish that felt so physically real, but the pain was not something that could be stopped by any conventional methods. He writhed and twisted on the ground. This spanned for a good minute or two. He's never experienced such pain before. The very notion of walking, he had to stagger for a moment, catching his breath. He gripped his chest. He decided to flee the forest, not knowing what that was, not wanting to face it once again. He wanted to understand what the hell was that. Was he dying? He thought to himself. That could be the only explanation for such a pain. As he fled within the foliage, leaving Konoha, wanting to get away as far as possible, to ensure that that pain did not return, unable to even comprehend it. Meanwhile that was going on, Sasuke had woken up. Lee had been defeated due to his hearing. Dosu was very powerful with that department. However, when Sasuke woke up, he was an animal. It took Sakura to hold him and calm him down. But he had no recollection of what he just did. His mind seemed to be foggy. But the power, he still felt it. Neji and Tenten arrived on the scene. Lee had run off. Team 10 was also there in the open now. Ino seeing Sakura's conviction, her strength, when suddenly, everyone felt it. When he got up, the sensation was chilling. A cold sweat ran down every single one of them, even Neji. And this was not on purpose. It was just the instinct. He stepped out of the tree. Unlike Sasuke, the markings did not recede. Why though? There was a greater purpose. The markings remained where they were. They coursed around his right arm, some of them reaching up to his face but stopping near to his neck, almost like a tattoo, wrapping around him. The sheer feeling that Naruto gave off was at least 10 times worse than Sasuke. Everyone stood there, holding their breaths, believing that he would attack them. After seeing what Sasuke did, Sakura grew afraid. Sasuke stepped up. However, he looked at them so calm. "What's wrong?" he said. Sakura stepped forward. "Naruto? Are you okay?" she said. "I'm fine," said Naruto. She stepped up towards him. "It's just, those marks also affected Sasuke and they're on you now," she said. Naruto looked at himself, at the strange marks. He felt something different, something abnormal, something he couldn't explain. "I'm not sure what is going on," he said to her, "but I'm fine." Neji could not take his eyes off Naruto, studying the one that Might Guy spoke so highly about. It's been since the first part of the exam that he was curious, now more so than ever before. As the time passed, the marks did not recede, they did not move away. They remained where they were. As Naruto sat alone, he had retrieved his weapons before leaving the forest. He sat alone where he was, within the tower. They got the scroll from Dosu, while Sasuke did, allowing him to escape with his teammates. Naruto was confused by the sensation that he felt, not quite sure what was going on. Finally, there was a reaction to him, trying to understand it. The marks. They start to spin and twist together. The next moment, the cold form of a snake wrapped around Naruto, its head resting on his shoulder. Naruto did not know this, but it looked similar to Orochimaru's final form, but different as well. He looked at it. It could not speak, but somehow Naruto understood it. He felt a connection with it. For the next few days, Naruto learned a lot. The snake proceeded to swallow his sword, well, dagger. And he proceeded to swallow his staff as well. But when they came back out, they too had the marking on them. And Naruto found himself being able to pull the weapons towards him with just a thought. Being across the room, being far away, he could pull them towards him. There was a connection that was bonded with his weapons, but not only that, they felt stronger. He could also store the weapons inside the snake's mouth. When he released the snake, it returned back to his markings. So the markings were permanently stuck to him. It didn't offer him any special ability other than that. But Naruto found that unique, not having to carry around his weapons. However, he was disappointed. Orochimaru did not truly take him seriously in the end. Yes, he might use a bit more of his power, but not 100%. As Naruto hated that. He knew that it was still a long way for him to beat a Sannin, but his pride, his rage, that was getting in his way. Orochimaru had spoken to Anko, who quickly spoke to the Hokage to get the boys out of the exam, but Hiruzen could not do that. He couldn't bring himself to do that. They will be watched. If things get out of hand, they will be stopped. When the day finally came, Kakashi Hatake was looking at Naruto mostly because he could see the mark. It stand out on him more than everyone else. Well, Sasuke only. Anko was shocked. Truly so. Why were they still there? He did not seem to be angry or drawing power, and yet they seemed to now be permanently stuck to him. Answers were needed, a lot of answers. But for now, Sasuke was the one to go first. When his match came to an end and he was victorious, Kakashi took him away to seal the mark. Kakashi returned, wanting to help Naruto afterwards. However, his match had not started yet. What was surprising was Sakura. Seeing how truly strong she has become, she bested Ino. Physical attributes over mind compulsion. She outpaced her in every single way and knocked her down. She couldn't believe it. She passed. She was going to the finals. She couldn't believe it. Naruto training had helped her so much. Finally, the match that he's been waiting for, Rock Lee. Couldn't believe it as fate turned into his palm. Speaking of Rock Lee, earlier, Guy had saw Naruto. He did not hold back in the slightest. He picked Naruto up in a bear hug and spun him. Like a long lost child that he hasn't seen in a long time. Well, it hasn't been that long. However, Naruto did not mind the affection in the slightest. Glad to see his former sensei once again, despite Guy making a ridiculous scene. Tenten chuckled though, finding it hilarious. While Naruto did not fight him off, he also seemed to be a bit embarrassed. She was starting to learn his personality and his attributes. Neji did not seem to be a fan, not in the slightest. Lee just wanted to prove himself by besting Naruto, and he got the opportunity when the names lined up. Guy was smiling, wanting to see how the power of youth ignite in the two of them. But this wasn't the only reason why this match was being watched. Guy saw the marks but did not comment on them. Everyone was keeping a keen eye on Naruto, even Gaara. Not for the marks though. For their earlier meeting, Lee was excited, non-stop talking. He was ready, questioning Naruto if he was ready as well. As Lee bowed his head, Naruto-kun, he said, "I will give everything I can in this fight." Naruto tilted his head at the familiar way that Lee addressed him, as his blue eyes were lit by the light shining through the windows, the markings on his skin. Anko did not like this one bit, because that was not usual. It was uncommon for them still to remain, without distress, without actively drawing on the power, unless that is what is actually going on right now, but it didn't seem that way. Guy's arms were folded. Lee and Naruto, "Both my students," he said. "This battle will be one to test their flames of youth." Kakashi glanced towards him. "Flames of youth, huh? Looks like we're about to see a forest fire consume the entire arena." Sakura, wrapped in bandages, leaned forward slightly. "Naruto," she said, "don't go too far. as previous battles when they were on their missions enter in her mind. Lee was someone that was so nice. He came to help her, as she didn't want Naruto to hurt him too badly. Harrison was focusing on Naruto's marks. They were no longer the same. Something wasn't right here in the slightest. The proctor raised his hand. Begin! Lee was the one that moved in first. His speed was explosive. His fists snapping towards Naruto's face in a fury. Naruto blocked the first, skipped the second, as he let Lee's kick slip past his ribs. His body swayed with a strange looseness, like he was not even trying. And then, Naruto grinned. He started to smile. You're fast. Faster than I thought. Well, I shouldn't be surprised given who your teacher is. But you're not gonna win. Lee blinked hearing that. His fist stopped in mid-motion. Confusion edging across his face. Why would you say that? I have trained my whole life for Naruto interrupted him. I like you, Lee, he said. His smirk still there. But this isn't enough. You won't beat me like this. Not now, said Naruto. Lee's jaw clenched as he pressed harder. Kicks and punches moving like whips, crackling across the battlefield. Naruto let them graze his arms, but he rocked back every single time, his body never falling back completely, as he started to laugh. Every strike seemed to make the marks more pronounced, but that was all. Up above, he's enjoying himself, Sakura said. Kunai folded her arms, gazing down. Something doesn't feel right with that one. The sensation that she felt. As Anko's eyes focused on the marks, noticing the slight pulsation. Yet she did not feel the cursed energy that would come from them. What the hell did Orochimaru do to him? She questioned, believing that the Chunin was behind all of this. Why were they still there? Guy has always known that Naruto was special, but something was different. He's become something else. That is when Naruto ducked a high kick from Lee and slammed a fist in his guard. The shockwave created spiderweb cracks across the ground. Lee was sent skidding back. He was shocked. You've grown stronger. But I will not lose, he said. Naruto tilted his head, the smile, the little grin on his face never fading. Then show me. Show me everything. You got the gates. Use them. Lee stiffened at that. Guy Sensei said I should only use them to protect someone precious, never from our own glory. Forget about that, said Naruto. Forget about your rules. Don't you want to fight? Don't you want to prove that you're more to everyone? Don't you want to prove that you're Guy Sensei's student, Naruto said, as he started to raise his voice. So come on, Lee. Open the damn gates and fight me like a man. And stop wasting my time, said Naruto. Because you cannot pest me like this. Lee hesitated, but his fist trembled. For all of his steely discipline, Naruto's words pierced through him, tearing through his armor. Wasn't that why he trained for all these years? To prove himself, to stand proud, genuine, against all of his foes, to test his true limits. He crossed his arms. It was time. Time that he proved himself. First gate. Open, he said. He attacked Naruto. His fist pounding against Naruto's frame. Naruto blocked each and every one of them. Come on. More, he shouted. Lee wasted no time. Second. His fist became more violent, but Naruto was still keeping up. Third. Fourth. His power surged as he sent Naruto sailing towards the statue. Fifth. Lee's power intensified. Sakura was speechless. This power, he can do that as well? The Hokage robes blow from the wind. Incredible. And yet, as he watched Naruto standing there, calm, smiling, he wasn't even flinching in the slightest. It was time. Lee vanished. His fist slammed into Naruto's jaw, sending him spiraling across the arena. He smashed into the wall before bouncing on the floor. Everyone gasped at the raw intensity, at the raw force behind Lee's blow. However, Naruto got up almost instantly, blood dripping from his lip. He reached up and wiped it with his thumb. Perfect, he said. That's what I wanted. Naruto blurred away, shocking everyone. Majority of the children there could not see him. He appeared and kicked into Lee's guard. Lee was shocked when Naruto blurred away, tapping into the second gate. The kick that's connected with Lee almost folded him in half. He was blasted, crashing hard, but he flipped at the last moment. When he landed on the wall, it cracked as he shot towards Naruto with an ungodly amount of force. Fist met fist, kick met kick. Lee was in the 5th gate and Naruto was in the 2nd, but something was wrong. Naruto was not opening up more gates, but he was growing stronger. It wasn't just gates anymore. His own limitation. His own strength. The walls started to crack. Dust started to fill the entire place. The place started to tremble. Hayate gazed upwards. They're going to bring the entire place down, he said, shocked that 2 Genins could do something like this. The lust for battle started to take over as Naruto grinned, spread into a full-blown laughter. Come on, Lee! Faster, stronger! Don't stop now, he said, as he matched each of the blows. Their speed zipping across the arena. Lee punched the statue as Naruto kicked it in half, literally breaking it to pieces. Lee stepped on the pieces in the air as him and Naruto met each other mid-air, using the broken pieces to continue their flight as they met in mid-air, causing shockwaves. For a moment it seems like Lee overwhelmed Naruto, battering him into the wall as he wrapped him. He wrapped him with a tape around his hands. He battered Naruto into the ground. However, as the blood dripped into the air, Naruto blurred away. Lee turned, but Naruto was gone once again. He turned to the right, Naruto was gone. He could not see him. Neji's eyes narrowed. What the hell? Naruto struck Lee across the face, the connection snapping his head upwards. Lee staggered, momentarily losing all composure. Naruto spun and dropped his hand in Lee's chest. You could hear the connection, you could hear the break. Ribs, shoulder. Lee staggered in pain. Impossible, he said. How did you? Naruto sent him sailing back to the wall. Lee was on his last legs. He dashed at Naruto. As Naruto dashed at him, both of them met in the center. A huge collision spreading out. Everyone was shocked, terrified that the entire place would come down, pieces falling down to the ground. Smoke and dust covering the entire place. Everyone watched carefully, waiting. The proctor jumped down. The fighting had stopped. When the dust cleared Lee, fist was in Naruto's face. and Naruto's fist was in his face. The problem was, Naruto was the only one that was still conscious. Lee was out like a light. Finally, he started to fall, but Naruto grabbed his hand, refusing to allow Lee to fall to the ground. The proctor, moving over towards him, confused how could this kid still stand. A small trickle of blood dropped from Naruto's lips, but yet he was firmly planted on his feet. "Winner! Naruto Uzumaki," he said. The crowd was silent. This was the most epic battle that they've seen. Unable to believe what the hell just happened. Time skip. It became worse. Uncle Midarashi was there, needing to understand why were the marks still there. The problem was, the same seal that they placed on Sasuke folded and erased as they tried to place it on Naruto. However, it wasn't erased, it was devoured. The ink seemed to swallow it in that same fiery inky tattoo. What the hell? Another try, but it did not work. Confusion spread. Naruto could not explain it, but he did offer up something to prove that he had some knowledge on what was going on. As they watched, the ink proceeded to change and turn into the head of this strange serpent. For a brief moment, Hiruzen thought he saw Orochimaru, but the grotesque monstrosity that wrapped around Naruto, was it truly reflecting him, or was it because he was thinking about him? They found themselves at a loss, not understanding. It wasn't that just the ink would not place. No one has ever tried to affect Naruto with seals, other than when he was young and the first seal was placed on him. But his body was indeed special. After all, many things could not work on him. Weaker seals, maybe even stronger ones, they haven't truly tested just as yet, seemed to have no effects at all, as they could not seal it, but at the same time, the mark did not give off any residual energy. There was nothing there that showed that the mark was fueling to Naruto, temptation. It just seemed to provide the benefit of the strange serpent. But Naruto does seem stronger. Far, far, far stronger. A lot of questions were raised, but none of them had the answer. Time skip. Naruto met Jiraiya and questioned the man why he wanted to train him. For a moment there, Jiraiya thought that Naruto knew, but it was just a feeling that Naruto gave off. Just like how Sakura thought he hated them. And even more so than before with those marks, Naruto looked so intimidating to many. Kakashi advised trainers for them all. However, Naruto ditched his, seeing that Sakura was in the finals. Naruto ditched his trainer, Ebisu. The man could not teach him anything. That is when he came across this man. Jiraiya seemed to be drawn, intrigued by him, his purpose and understanding. But Naruto was curious why. He said it nonchalant, but Jiraiya believed that Naruto knew more than he should. The Sannin used his title. "You should be honored, kid," he said. "I am a Sannin after all." Naruto figured why turn down something like that. Jiraiya wiped the sweat away, thinking that he was almost caught. But did the boy actually know anything, he wondered. Unfortunately though, when he came to signing the Toad contract, that wasn't going to be possible. Despite Guy being able to summon up chakra to perform his summon, Naruto could not do that. Another reason why he was so different. It wasn't that he didn't just have chakra, the aptitude to release any of it in the way that conventional people do was simply impossible for him. So there had to be some alternative, some different way of training. Well, Jiraiya could help him a lot. He's been around the world a lot. He has come across a few things. What did you say? Said Naruto. It's a very old scroll, Jiraiya said. I'm not sure where it came from, but from what I've been able to gather, the teachings were supposed to be passed down to a tribe, hailing from a few, maybe 1,000 years ago. However, it seems this tribe was wiped out. The teaching was something truly remarkable. It allowed one to react beyond the natural understanding of fighting. Naruto looked at him strangely. Like this, Jiraiya said. He tried to hit Naruto as Naruto moved back, you see? But what I've read in the scroll, something I can't really come to even master, me of all people. But I believe that you would be able to pull something like this off, maybe in a few years. It's fit for someone with the pure physical attributes, not the spiritual. What's it called? It's been some time since I looked at it. If I remember, it's something about heightened instinct. No, not that, ultra instinct? I'm gonna have to take another look. But it might be able to benefit you greatly. Not to mention, we can also work on your taijutsu and getting you stronger and faster. Your opponent is gonna be really dangerous. You're going up against a Hyuga. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. Peace.